Hey gamers! Maniac here with my pet Pikachu. This past weekend we saw the release of Pokémon X and Pokémon Y on the Nintendo 3DS, the 6th generation Pokémon games and the first generational Pokémon games to be released on the Nintendo 3DS handheld. I'm going to take a minute here to show some of you guys who may not have picked up the game yet or haven't pre-ordered the game but have picked up the game yet, what was offered in North America in order, what you might have gotten in order to get if you had pre-ordered the game. So let's say we get ready for this. We're going to get ready. Got to get in the right mindset to show this stuff off. And then let's get started. Anybody who put a pre-order down for any Pokemon 3DS game, whether it be X or Y, who got it from GameStop in North America, got their hands on a really nice poster at the time of pre-order. It's a dual-sided poster. GameStop was giving these away. They were advertising about these. And I'm just going to show these to you briefly. This is it right here. This is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y poster. As you can see right here, it says depicting the two legendaries. The one legendary for Pokemon X and the one legendary for Pokemon Y. Obviously, there are other exclusives as well as some exclusive megas, evolutions for each of the individual games. It's more than just these two things that'll be exclusive to each game. But for the most part, this is, these are the things on the cover, so I think they really wanted to get these two things out there. It has a different side here, which is honestly my preferred side. I like this side better. Which is, I'll show this to you a little closer. This is the map of the Kalos region in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. If you look at it really closely, it's literally a map of France. And you can just probably, if you look even closer, you can see like some landmarks that I certainly recognize. Right in the center, it looks to be, here, I can show this to you closer. Right in the center, right there. That looks like the Eiffel Tower. Some of the... gosh, I thought I saw Notre Dame Cathedral in here somewhere as well. Oh. But yeah, it's definitely recreated a lot of the landmarks of the area of France. I've been to France. Granted, I haven't been to France in many, many years. Last time I went to France was summer 2001. But I saw a lot of the country at the time. I went on a foreign exchange program, and I got to see Paris, and I got to see the south of France and things like that. So I'm really excited to see just how accurately, or maybe anachronistically, they're going to depict the country. But I'm really excited. I mean, I've been hearing things like they're going to use the Eiffel Tower as a Pokemon gym and stuff like that. As someone who has been on top of the Eiffel Tower, all I can say is you might be able to fit a gym on one of those tiers. But for the love of God, I don't think you'd be able to have a Pokemon battle on the top unless it was flying Pokemon. So that's the this is the poster you get for pre-order. Either game, X or Y, you get this poster. Unfortunately, I wanted to get if you pre-ordered both of them. You only get one. They won't give you a second poster for anybody who has a second, for anyone who picks up both of the games or a second pre-order. It's basically one poster per person, regardless of the amount of copies you get. Now, if by chance you decided that one Pokemon game was not enough, and you picked up both Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, GameStop also gave you something a little bit special. Now, this was something that was advertised. I got it in basically a cardboard tube like this. I honestly haven't been able to pull this thing out of the cardboard tube yet. Let's see if I can actually get this out of here without damaging it. But this is basically GameStop's way to get players to play both or pick up both, and I thought it was kind of interesting. They emailed me that they were going to offer this. This is a glossy poster, by the way. It's a really glossy poster. It's kind of typical of what you'd have for other posters. This kind of poster that I'm trying to pull out right now, if I can actually get this thing out of here, is made of a higher textured card stock. Kind of feels like, for those of you guys who may have had business cards printed in the late 80s and 90s and stuff like that, kind of had this felt texture. It's kind of got like this high quality paper texture to it. And I honestly don't know if I can get this out. Come on. This is it. Unfortunately, I got a little bit bent up in the tube, but this is a high quality cardstock right here. And this is supposed to be the entire Pokemon timeline. And that's how it starts. And as you can see here, this is pretty much my entire, it starts up here in 1998 with the release of Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue in the United States. It was different in Japan, I know that. And moving on, we've got Gold and Silver. And then the third generation release. And then down in 2003. And a kind of cool thing about this is that, you know, it not only shows you specifically what the games were, but what the starting Pokemon were, what the dates were. And it's on a really, really high quality paper. So this is it right here. This is what your 80 bucks purchase would get you. Now you're probably saying to yourself, not worth it if I pay $80 for this. And honestly, I kind of feel like, I know that North America for the first time ever is getting these games day and date with the rest of the world. That never happens on a Pokemon game. Usually the Pokemon games are severely delayed for international release. They always come to Japan first and then get, you know, English releases further on down the road, maybe like a year or two later. I think it was the worst wait was probably when Gold and Silver were released, because I know that people were waiting. That was like at the height of Pokemon fever. People really wanted those Gen 2 games out really quickly. Now that's not a concern anymore. They're basically doing worldwide day-and-date releases, which is nice. It's certainly nice, and I'm glad that, you know, that Nintendo appreciates all of their customers across the ocean, not just and are willing to do this. But I did notice that Europe actually had something kind of nice. They were offering little plastic Pokeball holders and things like that for which can hold your 3DS games. Even the Club Nintendo website doesn't offer anymore. They used to, for like about a blink of an eye, offered 3DS game card cases that you can hold a bunch of 3DS game cards in. I'm kind of hoping that, it's really sad that they didn't release those. And, you know, in North America, all we got, it seems like, were these posters. I haven't seen anything otherwise that would come to this region. So that's kind of a little bit disappointing, but I'm kind of hoping that at some point Nintendo does release those Pokeball card holders in the United States through some other means, like, I don't know, they'll sell them as merchandise at like the Nintendo World, or you can get or through Amazon or something like that. You know, some way that you can get that kind of stuff. But from the looks of it, I only think that the pre-order stuff for those Pokeballs are going to be in Europe. And the Europeans were not exactly having, they weren't having a deal where you get both games. You know, if you got both games, you get two Pokeball holders, basically. So, a little bit disappointing, especially since I haven't really seen any. It used to be back in the day, especially in the, like, you know, the early 2000s, you could find plastic Pokeballs that would at least look pretty decent. Nowadays, the only ones I've been able to find on Amazon are like foams. And it'd be nice to find a accurate one-to-one replica Pokeball of at least some, you know, visual quality, because I'd like to shoot like a short film or something, and I'm going to need Pokeballs if I do such a thing. But don't worry, Pikachu, I'm not going to stick you in a Pokeball. You don't have to worry about that. So here's just a little bit for your eyes. For those of you guys who are anticipating picking up Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, they're out now. You can get them. You probably won't be able to get these posters anymore. These posters, especially this one that I'm holding in my hand right now, were very, very limited. And I remember the reason why I went to GameStop on Saturday as early as I did to get in line to pick it up. I was the first person in line. Was even though I had pre-ordered both games, I wasn't guaranteed this was like first come, first serve basically on these. So I'm really happy that I was able to get my hands on one of these. It's a nice looking poster made of a nice cardstock. Would look cool on a wall basically, or would look cool framed. So there you have it, guys. Those are the Pokemon pre-orders for North America, at least for North American GameStop. I have not heard of any pre-orders that styles alternate differently that would be offered by anybody else in North America. And like I said, for Europe, I was hearing about those Pokeballs, but I can't think of a single retailer that was offering that kind of thing here. Here's to hoping that Nintendo releases those Pokeballs in the United States in some way. They release them to the Pokemon Center area that they have in the Nintendo World. That'd be nice. Take a day trip and go up and visit Nintendo World. It's a really nice place. It's got a really cool museum in it too of all this classic artifacts. Last time I was there was for Luigi's Mansion release, and they had all kinds of they had Luigi's vacuum, like the real Luigi's vacuum they use in the commercials and stuff. Be really excited to see what they offer this week now that with Pokemon X and Y out. The games, I've seen some footage from the games. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like it seems to be a good jumping on game for Pokemon fans who may have should join the series. It looks like it's really made not just for old fans but for new fans as well. It's specifically designed to be the most fun as possible, funnest experience you can get, and I'm really excited about that. Next weekend on Cartoon Network, next Saturday, is going to be the release of not just the new Pokemon animated movie, but also I think it's going to be the launch of the new X and Y series. I was seeing that on the schedules. They're also going to show the last Pokemon movie before they show the new one. So if you have Cartoon Network and you're a Pokemon fan, you're interested in seeing these most recent Pokemon movies, the new one will be out on Saturday, I think mid-afternoon, and it's going to be what's going to happen before then. They're going to show the previous movie, then the recent one, and then the first episodes of the X and Y series. I know that a lot of people out there were clamoring for a black and white series before the black and white series was announced. And now it looks like they're going to be following that up with the X and Y series on Saturday, at least in the United States on Saturday. So tune to Cartoon Network if you're excited about the anime. I think Pikachu will probably be there with me. Until next time, guys, this is Maniac with GameAccess.net, just trying to be the best like no one ever was. Take care.